English modal verbs and their usage. Can. To show an ability. She can speak 3 languages. He can do many things at a time. He can make people smile instantly. We can play an important role in our society. To show an inability. She cannot speak 3 languages. He cannot do many things at a time. He cannot make people smile instantly. We cannot play an important role in our society. To show offer. Can we help you in this regard? Can I take this opportunity for you? Can I send this information to you? Can I make a hotel reservation for you? Can't we help you in this regard? Can't I take this opportunity for you? Can't I send this information to you? Can't I make a hotel reservation for you? To show the possibility. Smoking can cause heart disease. Can I get a taxi in a few minutes? It can get very hot in the summer. I can understand why she is happy right now. To show the impossibility. Smoking cannot cause heart disease. I cannot get a taxi in a few minutes. It cannot get very hot in the summer. I can understand why she is happy right now. To show request. Can you hand me the magazine? Can you tell me where does he live? Can I have your email address, please? Can we go to the library instead of the cinema? Can't you hand me the magazine? Can't you tell me where does he live? Can't I have your email address, please? Can't we go to the library instead of the cinema? To show permission. Can I borrow your book for a while? Can I speak to John about my problem? Can I make a phone call in the evening? Can I borrow your lecture notes? Can't I borrow your book for a while? Can't I speak to John about my problem? Can't I make a phone call in the evening? Can't I borrow your lecture notes? To show allowance. You can smoke in this place. You can go through the last part of the book. You can cross the borderline. You can make a clear statement on religion. To show forbiddance. You cannot smoke in this place. You cannot go through the last part of the book. You cannot cross the borderline. You cannot make a clear statement on religion. Could. To show past ability. I could read the newspaper when I was 5 years old. I could play the piano when I was a child. Alex could ride a horse when he was younger. She could play tennis when she was a kid. To show past inability. I could not read the newspaper when I was 5 years old. I could not play the piano when I was a child. Alex could not ride a horse when he was younger. She could not play tennis when she was a kid. As permission with politeness. Could I use your mobile phone, please? Could she take the exam next month? Could we plan it for another time? Could we do the math problem differently? Couldn't I use your mobile phone? Couldn't she take the exam next month? Couldn't we plan it for another time? Couldn't we do the math problem differently? To indicate the request. Could you come and see my father tomorrow? Could you wait for me for a while? Could you help me pass the interview? Could you please speak more loudly? Couldn't you come and see my father tomorrow? Couldn't you wait for me for a while? Couldn't you help me pass the interview? Couldn't you please speak more loudly? To show past probability. You could have done the work on time. You could have told us you were going to be late. I think you could have finished the task properly. You could have a nap in the car. You could not have done the work on time. You could not have told us you were going to be late. I think you could not have finished the task properly. You could not have a nap in the car. To express the proposal. We could go to the park in the afternoon. We could take a taxi for a business trip. She could help you with English. Could we use your bathroom today? Couldn't we go to the park in the afternoon? Couldn't we take a taxi for a business trip? Couldn't she help you with English? Couldn't we use your bathroom today? Shall. To indicate suggestions. Shall I call again on Thursday? We shall go to the theatre if you have time. We shall notify you as soon as she arrives. We shall wait for you at the bus stop. Shall not I call again on Thursday? We shall not go to the theatre if we don't have time. We shall not notify you as soon as she arrives. We shall not wait for you at the bus stop. For seeking advice. What shall we do with this? Shall we walk or go by train? We shall be back by the end of the week. You shall take a break in the middle of the session. What shall not we do with this? Shall not we walk or go by train? We shall not be back by the end of the week. You shall not take a break in the middle of the session. As obligation or requirement. You shall finish your task before you leave. All workers shall wear safety gloves at the laboratory. We shall abide by the law of our society. Students shall go out of the school campus. You shall not finish your task before you leave. All workers shall not wear safety gloves at the laboratory. We shall not abide by the law of our society. Students shall not go out of the school campus. Should. To show obligation. All students should attend the class every day. He should save more money each month. We all should have a contribution to our society. You should study more to make good results. All students should not attend the class every day. He should not save more money each month. We all should not have a contribution to our society. You should not study more to make a good result. To express advice. We should eat more vegetables for good health. You should apply for the job by the end of the month. I think teachers should have higher degrees. You should make a quick decision. We should not eat less vegetables for good health. You should not apply for the job this month. I think teachers should not have higher degrees. You should not make a quick decision. To show past obligation. You should have a proper sense at your age. You should have accepted their business proposal. We should have more knowledge about that topic. I should have finished all the lessons before the exam. You should not have an improper sense at your age. You should not have accepted their business proposal. We should not have more knowledge about that topic. I should have not finished all the lessons before the exam. Will. To indicate the future. The funeral will be held the next morning. It will be a great party for us. She will probably go out tomorrow. Things will improve very soon. The funeral will not be held the next morning. It will not be a great party for us. She will not probably go out tomorrow. Things will not improve very soon. Used to show request. Will you please be quiet for this moment? Will you please give me her phone number? Will you please spell your name for clarification? Will you have a drink with our club members? Would. To express wishes and like. I would love to live here for a long time. I would rather go to the museum today. I wish you would stay with our family. I would expect him to come to the train station. I would not love to live here for a long time. I would not rather go to the museum today. I wish you would not stay with our family. I would not expect him to come to the train station. To make polite requests. Would you like to have a cup of tea? Would you like to play cricket with me? Would you mind giving me a hand? Would you like to have a drink in the afternoon? As a conditional mood. I would help the poor man if I were you. I would accept the proposal if I were in your place. If you ask me, I would say you should have this. If you earn more money, you would be happy. I would not help the poor man if I were you. I would not accept the proposal if I were in your place. If you ask me, I would say you should not have this. If you earn more money, you would not be happy. To indicate an imaginary past. I would have answered all of his questions. You would have passed your job interview. You would have made a lot of money at that time. We would have bought a house at a cheap rate. Would I have answered all of his questions? Would you have passed your job interview? Would you have made a lot of money at that time? Would we have bought a house at a cheap rate? May. To express a possibility. She may be an intelligent woman. He may get the lottery if he is lucky. They may win the football tournament. He may make a mistake in this situation. She may not be an intelligent woman. He may not get the lottery if he is unlucky. They may not win the football tournament. He may not make another mistake in this situation. To give permission. Our boss may ask you to send us the report. You may leave once you have finished your work. They may buy tickets more than one at a time. You may open the window if you want. Our boss may not ask you to send us the report. You may not leave once you have finished your work. They may not buy tickets more than one at a time. You may not open the window if you want. To express request. May we take the responsibility of the orphan? May I go home after finishing the project? May I borrow your car for a few days? May I make a phone call at this moment? Might. To show the possibility. You might think you are powerful, but you are not. It might rain today or tomorrow. You might find a better place to live in. He might take a taxi to get home. You might not think you are powerful, but you are. It might not rain today or tomorrow. You might not find a better place to live. He might not take a taxi to get home. To express suggestion. You might think this game is useful. They might go there from another direction. You might find it worthwhile to consult a physician. We might able to arrange another meeting. You might not think this game is useful. They might not go there from another direction. You might not find it worthwhile to consult a physician. We might not able to arrange another meeting. Must. To express certainty. That must be her brother. He looks so alike. There must be a minimum of 5 players from each team. You must wear a seatbelt when you drive a car. We must take measures to solve the problem. That must not be her brother. He looks so different. There must not be a minimum of 5 players from each team. You must not wear a seatbelt when you do not drive a car. We must not take measures to solve the problem. To indicate recommendation. She must park her car outside the entrance. They must make a noise when they are dancing. All passengers must present a valid passport at the airport. You must try some of the dishes. These are delicious. She must not park her car outside the entrance. They must not make a noise after 11 o'clock at night. All passengers must not present a valid passport at the airport. You must not try these dishes. These are horrible. To express necessity. They must get a permit to enter the garden. He must give up smoking because it is bad for his health. You must study hard to pass the exam. You must drive carefully to avoid any accident. Have to. To express certainty. I have to say I don't much care for the modern lifestyle. He has to complete this project by the end of the week. You have to finish your homework before the exam. I have to pick up my niece at school at 2 o'clock. I do not have to say I care much for the modern lifestyle. He does not have to complete this project by the end of the week. You do not have to finish your homework before the exam. I do not have to pick up my niece at school at 2 o'clock. To indicate urgency. You have to believe in yourself to succeed in life. You have to balance your spending to your income. What you have to do after work. You have to recruit experienced employees for this project. You do not have to believe in yourself to succeed in life. You do not have to balance your spending to your income. What you do not have to do after work. You do not have to recruit experienced employees for this project. Ought to. To give advice. You ought to be more punctual at the office. I ought to exercise regularly to reduce my body fat. You ought to visit your relatives once in a while. We ought to have lots of fruit and vegetables in our meal. You ought to revise your lessons every week. You ought not to be more punctual at home. I ought not to exercise regularly to reduce my body fat. You ought not to visit your relatives once in a while. We ought not to have lots of fish and meat in our meal. You ought not to revise your lessons constantly. Need. Need as a negative form. You need not take the full responsibility of the problem. We need not spend much time preparing for the business. You need not spend a lot of money on clothing. You need not read the whole passage. We need not hurry because we have enough time. Need as positive form. You need to take the full responsibility of the problem. We need to spend a lot of time preparing for the business. You need to spend a lot of money on clothing. You need to read the whole passage. We need to hurry because we do not have enough time. Used to. Repeated action in the past. She used to live in India during her childhood. That is what my mother always used to say. I used to play football when I was at school. He used to have long hair during his college life. She used to work for a large charity organization. She did not used to live in India during her childhood. That is what my mother always did not used to say. I did not used to play football when I was at school. He did not used to have long hair during his college life. I did not used to listen to classical music when I was sad. Dare. To show courage and boldness. How dare they criticize our theory? Who dares argue with my proposal? How dare you suggest she was an inactive lady? Who dares to stand in front of the big man? I dare not see his miserable condition. How dare they do not criticize our theory? Who dares does not argue with my proposal? How dare you suggest she was an inactive employee? Who does not dare to stand in front of the big man? I do not dare to see his miserable condition. Had better. To express recommendations. You had better take a taxi to reach the station. You had better go now before the market is closed. She had better be here before we start our program. You had better take a final decision for this project. You had better exercise regularly to lose weight. You had not better take a taxi to reach the station. You had not better go after the market is closed. She had not better be here after we start our program. You had better take a final decision for this project. You had not better exercise regularly to lose weight. Would rather. To express a preference. I would rather go by train in the afternoon. We would rather stay at home than go to the cinema. I would rather wait for you at the train station. We would rather have tea than coffee. I would rather come on Friday than on Sunday. I would not rather go by train in the afternoon. We would not rather stay at home than go to the cinema. I would not rather wait for you at the train station. We would not rather have tea than coffee. I would not rather come on Friday than on Sunday. Be able to. To indicate an ability. He has been able to swim since he was 6. I could play the piano when I was a child. I will be able to come early in the morning tomorrow. The team will be able to arrive in New York on Friday. I will be able to finish the work within 2 days. To indicate an inability. He has not been able to swim since he was 6. I could not play the piano when I was a child. I will not be able to come early in the morning tomorrow. The team will be able to arrive in New York on Friday. I will not be able to finish the work within 2 days.